from Rolling Stone. Olivia Rodrigo St. Louis concert hands out morning after pills. It's brutal out there in Missouri, but we are here for abortion access and hand out Plan B, Missouri Abortion Fund says. Okay, so legit question. Are people really mad about Plan B? Is that a thing? Like, serious? I'm asking seriously.
Some people are because, and I am not a Catholic. I have to preface this and say, I know Catholics. I love Catholics. I talk to Catholics a lot, but I might not be the answer. But some people believe that because Plan B prevents conception, that because it's a form of birth control, in that sense, it's bad. That's my understanding of it. I think people feel differently about it. But I think also people get upset when the 21-year-old pop singer whose teeny bopper fan base is being given Plan B as
and
if
encouraging them to go
take a risk and see,
sex.
It's fine. You have this pill now for free.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like they were sugar pills? And
Right.
so they're trying to trick all
Well,
these...
and it's like off-brand Plan B. It's like one of the
Tricking
other
teenagers into
ones.
having
Is
babies.
it off-brand Plan B?
I mean, it's like some other. There's someone
were they
tweeted,
sponsoring the concert too?
So she has this thing called the Fund for You, and it's all to promote abortion access and birth control and things like that. And so, as far as I know,
The fund for you or the fun for you?
Fund for You, because she has a
Oh,
song called "Good for You."
Yeah.
And a portion of at least the North American leg of her tour will go towards the National Network for Abortion. I can't remember what it's called, and which is like a network of abortion centers that are across the country. And as far as I know, every concert in the U.S. has a table where you can go. I don't know if you can get Plan B at all of them, but I know they have like a pro-abortion table at all of the concerts.
Concerts actually have Narcan tables.
Oh,
You
wow.
guys know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm not going to name any of the concerts, but I've been to them and they have Narcan tables because if someone ODs on heroin, you're supposed to run to the table and get Narcan
Look,
from them.
that seems like reasonable to me, right? Like, I think you should, if we have a way to prevent opioid deaths, like good times. But this one, because again, her fan base is really young, it is kind of interesting that it's like, hey guys, like, condoms, I get it. Plan B's been passing out condoms for a long time, but it seems like another step up to be like this thing that in some states you have to go to a pharmacist to get a hold of. I mean, I know that's not true everywhere, but like you can just have it for free for fun. Like that seems like not the moral I want to present.
The first problem is obviously it's encouraging teenagers to go have sex.
Yep.
And the other problem is that I suppose for people who view it, Plan B is
contraception.
Well, it's the same thing as an abortion. My view is that it is not.
It's the next day, isn't it? Like
No, there are people who have commented
disrupts
saying
contraception.
it is the same thing. Like
I thought it
there are some people who feel that way, but
right. That's what I'm saying. If you are of that worldview, of that particular moral framework, then you are going to be upset by this. But
what if people are substituting instead of saying, "Well, I would have used a condom, or I wouldn't have had sex, and then now I'm going to use this instead."
Well, that's and like you can have it like an STI. Like there are other risks
Yes.
in addition to pregnancy to being like teenagers.
I'm just saying.
Fun.
Imagine if you carried around some Plan B with you, and then you met someone you really didn't like. The ultimate insult ever. Like, let's say you're arguing, and you were like, "You are a dumb. You voted for Biden, didn't you? You know what? Here's some Plan B." Like, this is the craziest thing about the whole abortion argument is that they're begging for something that would be the most insulting thing to offer them. Giving your enemies Plan B is like you're like
saying you
please.
shouldn't reproduce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we don't want any more of you. One is bad enough. Here, take some free Plan B. It's crazy because think about the next 10, 20 years. How like we talk about how millennials and Gen Z are stunted and they're getting jobs later in life. They're having kids later in life, and this is why they're going to it. It used to be that like I think the average age of what was it like 20? Women were having kids at 20 or something like that.
Kids had, and you'd get married.
You get married
set
at
up your
18.
life. You'd
And then you
become
go
a grown up.
Yep.
You would be like, oh, I'm an adult. I have
No,
responsibilities.
I need to go into debt to go to adult daycare, aka college, and hang out for a little bit and decide what I want to do.
And then get upset when you can't get a job and can't pay the bills from it.
It's weird.
Again, also, it is very strange that we live in a time where people are actually tweeting at me because I said, like, never in history have single women just lived alone in these apartments like this. And it's mostly true for men, but there are a lot of guys that were like rogues. So, a guy would live in the woods or form like a gang or something. So it's not the same as women. Women were pretty much like living with their families or married into another family or something. It's only in the 20th century that we got the rise of the single woman who would be living alone. But it's a historical abnormality. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm just saying it's fascinating that here we are. You've got these women posting these videos being like, why can't I live by myself? And it's like, humans typically never did live by themselves. Anybody, they lived in big families. And then when the son married,
why do you think that trend has ticked up? Do you think it's like feminist culture? And
yeah, definitely.
I don't need no man. Everybody should live by themselves.
Well, that's certainly a lot of the PR. But I also feel like there is a public sentiment that women have to have jobs.
Yeah.
Where it used to be they could have jobs, now they must have jobs. So now you're getting all these videos of women being like, I'm miserable and I hate doing this. And you don't see as many guys who say that stuff. I think guys
view work differently.
Yeah.
We'd be less likely to get donations in our DMs than
true,
women,
too.
probably.
Yeah, I think it was Andrew Tate who responded to that woman from earlier where she was like, I can't afford my rent. He's like, if any man made this video, he would be mocked mercilessly by the media and by all women and be called a loser who doesn't deserve to mate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not wrong, you know?
Yeah. You have that study that women who make more money than their partners have a harder time. I think it was either staying married or finding a partner. Like,
it's both of those things.
It's
like
unusual.
It's sort of divisive,
right,
for the woman to be the
higher
earner. Yeah, I can
Men
see
don't
that
like
being.
it.
I could see that being a problem. I mean, as a woman, I wouldn't like that either.
Men don't like it. This is a fact. I see these stories all the time where like men don't like it when their significant other makes more money than them, and it is typically true. And feminists say this as if men are, babies or whatever, and it's like this is what men do. Men don't have babies, so like what are they bringing to the table? They feel like they're providing, and it gives them a sense of purpose to support, provide, and if they don't have that, then they feel insecure. They don't feel valued, and they also feel at risk of the relationship breaking.
But women don't like it either. Like
when they make more than men,
women don't like making more than men either.
Oh yeah, how many
women want,
TikToks?
And like all of these women who make a lot of money, they have trouble finding a man because they want a man who makes more money than they do, and they're out there making like six figures or whatever, and like the fella that they meet is like not doing that, and so they can't make it work because of that. Women want to feel, I don't care,
taken care of.
Women want to feel protected.
Yeah.
They want to feel safe. They want to feel loved and taken care of. They want to feel like if something happens to them, then their husband is going to look out for them and make sure nothing bad happens. They want to know that like if they have babies and get pregnant, that man is going to take care of them, going to make sure that everything works out. Like the way that a woman can take care of her family is because she's being taken care of by a man. And then the woman can take care of all the things and be like the superhero and everything because the man is a bigger superhero because he's taking care of her so she can take care of everybody else.
I have a great announcement. I'm going to be a dad, or I'm actually a dad
Yeah.
already of an
That's so
unborn
exciting.
child, Angelina
Congratulations.
DeAngelis, coming in August.
Congratulations.
First child. So
That's
really
so
excited.
exciting.
Right on.
He's kept the secret
so
the whole
happy
time.
for you.
I will need to take care of and provide.
Yes.
So that reminded me.
But that like feels good for you, right?
Yeah,
like that's an
absolutely.
exciting time. I think that's one of the worst things that we do in culture right now, which is to make parenthood and taking on responsibility and things like that seem like it's going to take away from your life when it's not. Like people have been having children for centuries. They continue to travel. They continue to have interests and hobbies. And yeah, maybe you have to spend a little bit differently, but like it is a good thing to build a family and to build a community around you. I don't think that we should treat it as if it's like the end of time, It's just it's not the apocalypse. Have a baby.
Have a baby. We also have gotten to this point, and this goes to what you were saying about, what would the left say if we told them go ahead and kill your babies? We've gotten to a point where life is so devalued that we sacrifice our children, our actual unborn children, on the altar of our own desire. It's a very weird thing that we do, that we say like, oh, my life is so great right now and so amazing, and I'm sleeping around so much.
That's why I need to live alone.
And I'm
say the
going to
women.
these concerts all the time with Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah,
It's
Plan B
amazing.
pills.
That's why I don't want to have a child. And we've forgotten too that like perpetrating the species, that is part of our human responsibility. Like, don't we care about having responsibilities? It's like as a species, we are not even an adult at this point anymore. We're like a child species.
I think social media is melting the brains of the average person. Just no more.
I think so.
All of
Just
it's
turn
gone.
it
Go
off.
away.
I think so
Yeah.
too, because when you talk,
CNN only.
The TikTok ban might apply to X and Facebook. Fine.
When you talked about the
I run a
girl,
media company. I'm not okay with that.
yeah.
No, I'm down. I'll just go fishing.
when you talked about the girl who couldn't afford her rent, one of the things that I was thinking is when she was like, I can't even make it. How are we doing this? And then you immediately found out that she's like in a 2-bedroom apartment with doing vacations. It made me wonder if on TikTok, she's looking at people who make more money than she is, who go on vacations more regularly
FOMO.
or have a
Yep.
bigger apartment. And she's like, I can't even make it in life right now. I don't have the things
These
that they
girls
have.
on my Insta stories are
Right.
doing so
You know,
much better than
what if
me.
She's in the Maldives every other week.
I can't even I can't even pre-order a Tesla Roadster.
Yeah, what the
Come
heck?
on, what kind
You
of
know,
lives
like,
are these?
can you believe
I only
this?
did one vacation this month.
The Tesla Roadster is a $50,000 down payment. I cannot make this work.
I need 16 cats.
I
Not
need,
eight.
I need you all to become
down
members at
payment.
timcast.com. Otherwise, I can't make it.
Tim
very
is
far.
struggling. He cannot keep
struggling.
up.
How could I live without a new Roadster?
Or like all the girls who
space
are
car.
like, I'm shopping
Real
at
quick.
Erewhon or whatever.
space
Real quick.
car.
Yes, apparently they're
Are
saying
you getting a space car?
No, the Tesla Roadster uses SpaceX technology, and it has the capability of going from 0 to 60 so fast you could die.
Oh, damn.
Tax
So-
it.
You mean like
Elon-
like that roller coaster, that suicide roller coaster?
Yeah. So apparently Elon said something like the new Roadster can go from like 0 to 60 in like 0.99 of a second or something like that. And then a bunch of people did the math, and they were like, for your average sedentary American, it'll put 3.01 G forces on their organs, and it will actually cause loss of bodily control and function. And many people may crap themselves from the force, and some people who are like out of
wanna
shape could
detail that
actually
car.
die.
Do you have to pass a fitness test to get this car?
That'll be an ultimate recall.
You bring-
we didn't
recall.
think about this one yet.
you bring like a doctor's note being like, I am fit enough, my organs can handle it.
So the Model S Plaid, if you go too fast, it goes nuts. It goes like wah, 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 like you're speeding.
Think about your kidneys.
You got to turn on racetrack mode to be able to actually take that thing off the charts. But it can't go 0 to 60 in like 1.9 seconds or something like that. That's a choice. They could make the car go faster, but I think the car would either flip over or crush your organs.
It would be bad to have a car that crushes your organs
Not a
Yeah,
responsible
but
purchase.
How am I supposed to live?
without that.
You
if
know?
someone has a 2.5 0 to 60, you got to get the 1.9.
It
That's
would
the
suddenly
crazy-
it would
the
be
crazy
like
thing.
the TikTok challenge. Like, can you go
How
really
many G
fast?
forces?
Yeah.
Well, if you're fit and trained, I mean, there's a lot. There's a fighter pilots who experience way more G forces than that. I don't know enough
Yeah, it's the
about
Tide Pod challenge. If it goes viral enough, it was worth it.
it. But yeah, they said 3.01 G forces on your organs.
Only fighter pilots
Anybody
are
who's
allowed
at-
to buy this.
Anybody who's been in a Tesla knows that feeling when someone hits the gas. It slams you to the back like a gravitron, and you can feel it. It's fun. It actually is really practically useful because I can turn left, and I can make left turns extremely easily. So like, you're sitting at an intersection and the cars won't stop, and then like the left side is coming and you're like, okay, and the right side's clear, and you're like, the left won't stop coming. Then finally the left side starts clearing up on the road, and you're like, okay, finally, and then the right side starts coming in again. You're like, oh, there's no. With the Tesla, you just
Just
and
floor it.
within a split second, you are at the speed limit. So if the speed limit's like 45 and cars are coming, you just put your foot on the gas and then you're right in front. It's amazing. I love those things. Yeah. Anyway, if I'm going to live, I'm watching these TikTok videos. These guys, Jay Leno, how am I supposed to live
You
without
must get the wildest stuff.
Jay Leno?
No, just like on your TikTok, people are like, here's
No.
this Tesla, and you're like, okay,
I don't have
here we go.
TikTok.
Oh, not TikTok, Instagram or whatever.
I'll tell you what's
Your
on my
social
Instagram
media
right now.
feeds. I'm fired.
All right, I'm gonna press my. Oh, whoa! It's Ricky Glaser doing a blunt slide to dark slide.
Okay, then.
That's cool. Here's what I got. I got a woman getting some kind of tattoo in her face.
Is this your Instagram?
Yeah, the next one says, what's an actual cause of death so extremely rare it's hard to believe it's possible, from Ask Reddit. The next one is people racing on skis.
I have Tim doing skateboard tricks.
Oh, really? I got James McAvoy revealing he injured himself holding a woman upside down during an orgy.
Is this just your Instagram feed?
No, when you press discover.
Mine is actually, it's literally just Mormons getting engaged and the Dunkin' Donuts menu. For
I get a lot of this.
Mormons
Look at
getting
this.
engaged. Oh, I get a lot of that
I
too.
got
It's a guy making
me
beef.
waiting for apple cider vinegar to help me lose weight.
Is that what you get?
That's the first
So
thing.
I have a ton of people making food because that's what I click on all the time. Like basically this dude just cut a loaf of bread into a box and he's filling it with French fries.
I watch
chicken
a lot
shawarma.
of I watch a lot of chef reactions to crap like that.
You know what I
That'd be
won't
fun.
watch though is
And
the
it's the guy being like, "Yeah, I'd eat it. Fine, I'd eat it." Yeah.
Oh, and that girl Pooky shows up on my Instagram Explore page all the time. Do you guys know about this? No. Okay, well,
Pooky.
it's like she's like a girl who lives in Georgia, and she looks like she's fairly wealthy. And her husband, they'll like do outfit reviews, and her husband is always like, "Pooky's looking fire. I love Pooky in this hat." Like, I don't know. I'm just like a white girl on the internet, and they're like, "Here's your content." But it's very funny, and I have now heard a remix of one of their like conversations. Anyways,
I don't know who Pooky is.
well, I'll send you videos, and
I got something about that dog girl. Did you see
What?
the dog girl?
y'all's stuff is way less basic than mine.
Yes.
Basic white girl stuff.
I just get my DMs from my wife sending me cat videos. That's basically it.
So that's an honorable use of
And
the internet.
daddy daughter videos. This is how you need to be with our daughter, basically.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Did you guys
I
want
don't
to
use
find out the
Instagram
gender,
much.
or did you?
We found out.
Okay.
Yeah, we did like the early testing with the genetic stuff and had our ultrasound yesterday, which was great.
That's so
Like 20
fun.
weeks. Yeah.
See, more people who are becoming parents on the show. I like when we have parents on.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it is good because I think that's one of the issues. I was listening to, do you know Hidden Brain, the NPR thing?
Yeah, yeah.
They talked about the rise of parenting books, like when they started getting published. And I always thought it was interesting because they pointed out it basically came around because we used to live much more communally and people used to see, you know,
How do you do it?
you would have a lot more siblings and then also your siblings would then have children and there were children in your community. So you weren't like, there wasn't this gap of knowledge being like,
Bruh, there were wet nurses.
yeah.
Could you imagine, like, hey, my kid needs milk. Is there a woman with milk that can, like, sustain my child?
A wild
I've often
time.
thought about that because so when you have a child and you have milk and you have it for a while and then it goes away, right? And that's fine and you don't need it anymore. But a wet nurse, you would have to be continuously nursing just to keep your milk going. Like that would be so unpleasant.
Sounds terrible,
Just
but
nurse
But that
for
was like-
years upon years.
but if that's your job, you know, you
But they
are
were
the
like-
wet nurse.
they
your
were like-
job is to be the human cow.
But see, like in the modern day and age, like this was kind of crazy for me to learn, like what a wet nurse actually was. It's like, oh, it's another lady who has milk, so your baby can get milk when your wife or, you know, for you, the mother, can't produce. That's just kind of crazy to think about. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.